I might eat during the podcast. So if you see me, if you hear me chewing, I'm probably just eating dinner.
Oh, it's fun. I'm going to be eating too. I even have one of my buzz balls. Okay, it's starting up.
So it's okay.
She said it's okay. Christina.
Okay, and we are recording.
Okay.
So, what is up, everyone? Thank you for joining this on our 5th Knuckle Podcast with Spencer and Eric tonight.
You're gonna confirm June.
What's up?
We're going to be talking about, as you can see on the screen here, cross-platforming between Xbox and PlayStation. We're going to be talking Red Dead Redemption, IGN BS, and weird Japanese laws.
Alright. What about Pokken?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Pokken 2. I need to get my shit together.
Yeah, we still got time. We still in the beta phase right now.
Yeah. We're still getting it together. We're still working.
Yeah. We're still amateurs.
So yeah, we're starting off with Redemption.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I'll go ahead and pull up the vid. For those of you that don't know, a big rumor has started up about Red Dead Redemption. I'm going to be playing a small video by Open World Games in the background. I'll be leaving a link in the description if you want to watch it without us talking during it, but he'll clue you in on the details. Too bad I have no idea how that volume is going to be compared to you and I.
We have new rumors about Red Dead Redemption 2 happening by early
still in the learning
2017.
phase.
Plus, Take-Two confirms a presence
Yeah.
at E3 2016. And when Take-Two attends E3, you pay attention because they're announcing.
Let's see, you wanna start your thoughts on it?
My fellow Open World gamers, what's up?
Yeah.
It's Robbie with Open World Games, and I'm joined by my twin bro, Ryan.
Turn that down a little.
And by the way, sorry for the
My thoughts on it. The main interesting thing they brought up is about the 3 playable characters that seems like they're taking inspiration from Grand Theft Auto 5.
Mm-hmm.
Which, cool for them. I mean, there's probably going to be a point in which one or all of them is going to die, so that should be interesting.
You think so?
Maybe. It's hard to say with Rockstar what they'll do. I mean, hell, they killed off the main character in this game, and we replaced him with his son in the very last episode. Sorry, spoilers.
Yeah. I mean, it's a game that's it's a few years old, so don't worry about it.
But should be interesting. We'll probably see Mexico again in the game. That was kind of fun. I don't know, did they say where this game is going to take place?
I haven't seen the whole entire video. I don't think they said anything about that yet. But I heard it's gonna be a bigger map, though. They mentioned there was gonna be a bigger map than from the previous game. So.
Good.
They might be included, but probably with just like a higher, just like probably like in higher quality and better, bigger places. Depends on how they're gonna try to have onto the time period. If it's gonna be after Redemption or somewhere on those lines.
Would be interesting to set it during the Gold Rush. About that period. I was thinking it would be interesting because that was like a pretty crazy period, all things considered. Like, that was the Wild West as we know it.
Yes, I hope they line perfectly.
And probably throw in maybe Native Americans. I feel like they weren't that prominent in the first Red Dead Redemption, so it would be kind of cool to see like relations between Native American tribes. I'm not saying like dude dances with wolves, but something along those lines.
And probably like Lone Ranger.
Yeah, probably like a Lone Ranger, except the Native American in this one isn't going to be played by a white dude. I mean, as great as Johnny Depp is, it's not like, you know, they'd get him to play like, hell, I don't know, George Washington Carver or something, or like Mao Zedong.
Oh god.
Although that would be kind of funny, a movie about Johnny Depp as Mao Zedong.
Oh my god. Mao Zedong, who's that?
Mao Zedong. He's a former leader and probably one of the most horrible people on the planet. Like, if you look at it in terms of people that got the most people killed, I think he tops Hitler and Stalin. I'm not sure the actual numbers. I saw a list at one point, but he is at least in the top 3. He is,
Oh, so he's a dictator.
yeah, a violent dictator.
Dang.
So, you know, that would make it even worse that not only are they casting some random white dude in the part, it's a part about a man who murdered a lot of people. I mean, it would be like if they cast Adam Sandler as, like, Adolf Hitler. That's just something you don't do.
That's just like, that's counterintuitive because I think Adam Sandler is Jewish, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Interesting, though, because, you know, Adolf himself had Jewish ancestors, but was raised Roman Catholic.
Oh, that's right.
Actually, now that you bring that up, it probably wouldn't be as bad as if a Jewish person played that part in terms of anyone else. So, fair point. That reminds me, did you ever hear of that movie, The Day the Clown Cried? That Jerry Lewis movie?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so
No, I haven't.
Jerry Lewis made this movie, I can't remember the time, but okay, now, get this, it is about a clown during the Holocaust who tries to, like, entertain children in the camps before their deaths, and Jerry Lewis is like, you know what, this is the worst thing I've ever made, it is bad, it is terrible, I am never going to release it. And since he said he's never going to release it, now a bunch of people are asking him to release it.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, when you hear that premise, you can tell it is either going to be two things, and only two things. Like a beautiful piece, like the movie Life is Beautiful, or just something so horrible that it would end your career.
Yeah, that's why he didn't want to chance it.
Yeah, because the guy got lucky with Life is Beautiful too, because even though like it was made by a Jewish person whose ancestors were pursued by the Nazis, a lot of people were still irritated by the sort of cutesy, upbeat take on the Holocaust. Granted, it's told from the perspective of a child that's been lied to, but not a lot of people bought it. Yeah. But yeah, anyways, getting back on topic, Red Dead Redemption. Kind of cool that the map's going to be bigger, more areas to explore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, are there any like elements you think they should bring to it, personally?
Better online. I don't know. I haven't. I don't. I remember playing it. I didn't beat it. So I haven't. I haven't really much. Really, is there like a thing where you can choose to be an outlaw and like some like good guy or whatever?
Yeah. They kind of did that in the game, but it could have been taken further. It was mostly with that one weird guy that would show up every now and again. I forget his name, but I remember he was very strange.
That's not raining.
A lot of the characters were strange. Like
A lot
strangers and
were part of the charm of it, but still.
hopefully like more raids.
Look at that one. Click it on.
Yeah,
And
more
bank
raids.
robberies. Like bank robberies and stuff. Like they'll input like if you choose to be an outlaw, you could do like some sort of like heist. You can plan your heists in the game, especially online, like they did in like the GTA 5.
I forget. Did they have dynamite in the game?
What's about the explosive?
Yeah.
I
Because it's been a while since I played, and I was thinking of that. Because if
Yeah,
not, that would be cool to bring in. But if you set it further into the future, like, that's one criticism people had of, like, the movie Django Unchained. While they agreed it was great, they said, hey, you see, the Chinese didn't invent it until this time period, and yours takes place before that.
This is at South Shore Drive.
yeah, people take things way too seriously, but I get the people are trying to be authentic with their product as much as they can.
Yeah. But either way, like, the point is, like, having dynamite in the game would be cool. Again, if it is in the game and I don't remember it, feel free to call me a noob in the comments. I probably deserve it, but if not, that could serve as, like, a grenade or something, or the equivalent of a grenade.
Yeah. You're probably just like probably just like stick to like probably like around Molotovs or whatever, somewhere around those lines.
Yeah, Molotovs would work. They should bring in Molotovs. What do you
If
think
they
they
have
should
it.
do for, like, their DLC? Because they did, like, the Undead Nightmare where you can, like, ride the dead horse and shoot zombies. So do you think, like, in the next one they should do, like, vampires or something?
Actually, that could work, or witches, or like probably like the Salem witch trial crap or whatever.
Hey, actually, that's a good idea. Like, battle witches, fucking casting spells, turning people into bulls.
Yeah.
And
Some
if it's
crucible
anything
stuff
like the witch movie that I watched, they're probably kidnapping babies.
Just the grittiness.
Yeah. That was a messed up time period. Salem Witch Trials was a really messed up time.
Oh yeah.
Like, it was so weird, too, because it's like, okay, I had a dream that this person was a witch, and that was enough to kill them.
Yeah, like no evidence whatsoever.
And so many went along with it. Like, I think that was the thing, too. Like, if so many people hadn't lied and said they were possessed by someone, those deaths would have never happened. But they were all such idiots. They're like, oh, no, she's telling the truth. She really did turn a pig into a flower. Kill her.
Oh my god. I remember there was this one part in the movie that my English teacher in high school showed us. And it was like, he's like, she turned me into like, I forgot what it was, but it was so stupid because they went along with it because he had no evidence to back it up. So they just went with the whatchamacallit anyways, the execution.
Yeah. I don't know, the only one I can see, like, legitimately trying to lie their way out of that situation was Tituba, but that's just because they would have killed her on the spot just for, being a slave. But my man
Yep.
Giles Corey, now there was a badass. They put, like, a bunch of heavy stones on his chest to get him to confess, and his very last words are supposedly, more weight. So he basically told them, fuck you, kill me, I'm not saying I'm a witch, you're not getting my stuff. That is like the definition of a man, where if you have heavy boulders put on you, you ask for more.
Right? I don't know if I could go through that if it were to happen to me.
Oh no, like, I could say now that I'd be a tough guy about it, but I feel like if I were put in that situation, I'd start whining and crying before they put the first boulder on me. Like they drop a pebble on me, and I'm like, I'm a witch, I admit it.
It'd probably take me a little bit more of a nudge than that. Like if they put like a couple big rocks and stuff, and I'll wait a few minutes, and I was like, okay, I admit it. But then you'll get executed anyway, so it's like there's no point in that. So I might as well just say more weight because I'm gonna die anyways.
That's a fair point. I don't know. I mean, it was weird too, like how they determined, because some of them they let go. Like Tituba they kept alive, but others that admitted to being witches, some were killed, some weren't. It was weird. It was a weird time in history.
Wow, those people are idiots.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're still not in that time period.
I know, like, the main girl arguably responsible for all of it, Abigail, she, like, skipped town and never fessed up to lying about everything. It's said that she became a prostitute in the next town, but that can't really be confirmed or denied, so it can only be speculated what happened to her.
The only way is to conclude it. We just jump to a conclusion.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she did sleep with the dude who was married. What, didn't she?
Yeah, she slept with the married dude and got pissed off with him because he didn't want to be with her instead. Sort of screwed him over in the end.
So yeah, it seemed to fit.
Yeah, so, something like that would be interesting. Like, have the main character come in and, while people are being executed, there really is a witch. Something along those lines. Hell, maybe add a mystery element to it.
Like, probably add an element from L.A. Noire. So I do like detective work.
L.A. Noire, or like Sole Suspect without the ghost powers, which coincidentally also involved the Salem witch trials.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know this is kind of a spoiler, but the main girl that sort of guides you in the beginning of the game and throughout it is the ghost of Abigail, the one who caused everything.
Oh. So, that was some twist.
Yeah. Not gonna say what happens with it because, well, from what I've seen, it's not great, but if you do want to play the game, I'm not gonna spoil what happens with her, but you should just know, yeah, she's Abigail from the Salem witch trials.
Yeah, I ain't gonna play that.
Maybe have some DLC where, like, Django or Walker Texas Ranger could be in the game.
Why not? Or made a huge reference of it. Like they won't call him Django necessarily, but they'll have a big huge reference. They'll just have their own version of Django, and you go through all this thing just to save his wife and to blow up a plantation.
But if they don't bring back Jonah Hill to play a Klansman, I will not buy that DLC. Or if they leave out that awesome song from the beginning.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
was good.
This place.
No, he said
I like all the
South Shore.
it has a really good soundtrack.
South Shore is not bad.
It really did. It had like a nice
But it's
mix
very
of
hard
like
to get groceries
western
in
and
Why is it
rap.
away from-
It was
Far
good.
away from grocery stores. Yeah.
And it didn't feel like tacked on either. It's like they chose it carefully,
bad
which I appreciate.
It was weird to use Rick Ross, but yeah, it still was pretty. It was still pretty good.
So,
Oh right,
you know
that
how
was a
people,
Rick Ross song.
They are slow.
But the Tupac one, it was pretty spot on.
Around South Shore is dangerous.
Yeah.
But South Shore itself is okay. Or at least it looks
Can't go
okay.
wrong with him.
Yeah.
There were so many references in that movie too, and apparently it's like canon to the other Django movies.
Wait, there was another Django movie?
Yeah, there were 2 Django movies. Hang on, I'm gonna look it up. First one I think was just called Django, and the other one was. Yeah, I know that, but what was the other one? The other one was Django Strikes Again.
Wait, so this was it also directed by Tarantino, or this was by someone else?
Oh no, this was by someone else. This was like in the 80s and 70s. Actually, no, like the first Django came out in 66, and then
Jesus.
the next Django came out years later. But like there's a scene where like in that bar where that random dude walks up to him and he's like, "What's your name? How do you spell it?" and walks off. That was like the original Django actor. And he was wearing gloves because like in the sequel of the movie he messes up his hands. So it's sort of like, because of that, it leads me to believe that it exists within the same universe.
How much is it?
Which you know how weird Tarantino is with his universes.
80 for 4 person.
Yeah.
For 4 person.
Includes what?
Okay.
Includes what?
Including laundry.
Also, if you people at home are wondering why I'm gagging every now and again, I'm having a Buzzball Shock Tease, which is a combination of vodka, orange wine, and cream. While it tastes good in the beginning, it has a very strong aftertaste. But I think it's my favorite out of the Buzzballs. It sort of tastes like a Starbucks coffee drink, but like with half the sugar. So, you know, a normal coffee drink.
7,000.
Yeah.
7,000.
Those of you who was hearing some like chomping, that was me eating cheeseburgers.
South Shore Drive.
As you can see, we both chose to schedule our snacks during the podcast, not any time afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, we're still amateurs.
Such amateurish. But, you know, I have transitions now, so watch me go from Xbox One and PS4 to an IGN video we're going to talk about.
Bro, we talked about Red Dead Redemption. We didn't talk about the Xbox. We didn't talk about the cross platforms yet.
Well, I know, we're not getting there yet, but
Oh, okay.
a small little teaser.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I use my
But just to establish that we have fancy transitions now.
Okay,
All right.
So you won't have to see me like cutting back and forth to the damn chat thing to answer Micah.
Michael was chatting.
Yeah, I was chatting every now and again with Micah, and it's just mostly just leaving like one-worded comments because I had to like quickly read it, say something, and then go back to what we were trying to show.
Michael, you freaking troll.
Oh, Micah is the trolliest of trolls.
When we see you, we gonna throw them hands though.
Just shit talk Micah throughout this entire thing.
Yeah.
Use my location.
But anyways, yeah. But overall thoughts on Red Dead 2. I mean, I hope it's not a rumor. I hope it really happens, and hope they bring new elements to the table. I'm glad they put
Yes.
so much time between this one and the next one, so it feels like they put actual effort into it.
Yeah, Rockstar announced they may going to show it on E3,
I would
so that would be a
definitely
strong
there to watch
possibility.
it.
Yeah, so be on the lookout at June on that E3 and Rockstar.
Yeah, that'll be at E3, and we'll probably see, like, I don't know what else we'll see at E3. I know they'll show the Telltale Batman there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're working on that. They've been releasing more and more details, so I feel like we're going to get, like, actual gameplay footage there.
Should be too much since it's a story-based game.
Yeah.
It's probably like a really nice like prologue. Like they should show like a prologue, nothing like from the game, just something to rile us up a little bit. Just
Yeah.
to
Just get us, like, so super psyched about it.
and have like the YouTubers like have theories and discussions on it of what's gonna happen until we wait for ourselves.
Yeah, just them freaking out. The new Batman game is going to be about the Killing Joke. Which is a pretty badass but messed up comic in the series.
But then, they'll just talk about like they'll think it's it may be saying Batman, but they're gonna be talking about it's probably gonna focus more on Robin because such and such.
Hopefully it won't be as easy to guess things as like Arkham Knight. Because everybody was pissed off because of how obvious it was who the Arkham Knight was in the game.
Because a lot of references, the voice actor maybe, and
Yeah, they all kind of guessed Red Hood. And they're right, it was basically Red Hood.
yeah,
Except without, like, the badass costume from the movie.
Red Hood was a DLC.
Yeah. But pretty cool nonetheless.
So yeah. All right, let's move on.
Alright.
4 minutes, including
I suppose now we could talk about the Japanese laws.
All right.
Yeah. So it's really difficult for me to find a legitimate source on these things. Like, I got lucky the first 2 times because they were from actual news outlets.
Mm-hmm.
But from here, I can only guess and assume these people are telling the truth. But I check at every other place, and every other place seems to confirm these. I mean, I found like one website where the only thing on there was Japan has no age of consent, and I'm like, okay, that's bullshit. I'm going somewhere else. So as far as I know, these are the laws in place there. Again, if I'm wrong, tell me, so that way I never come back to this website I'm reading them off of again. Okay. First one, not really a weird one, but it is illegal to cook fugo fish, or otherwise known as blowfish, for more than 80 seconds because it contains deadly poison in its organs. And even though it's like a heavy risk, it's like a very special dish in Japan. So it's like, okay, hey, we have this thing that has like deadly poison in it now. You're allowed to serve this to the customers. Just make sure you don't make this tiny mistake that'll end up killing someone.
Yeah, that'll make sense. But still, it's like why serve it in the like at all?
I mean, it would have to be pretty damn tasty for me to eat something like that.
Exactly.
Here's one I'm iffy on. If your older brother asks to marry your girlfriend by law and by honor, you and your girlfriend must agree. Like, I feel like that used to be a law, but I feel like that's bullshit in modern day Japan. I don't feel like that's how things would work.
Yeah, that seems like outdated. You said brother asked to marry your girlfriend?
Yeah, if your brother wants to marry your girlfriend, you and your girlfriend have to let him, according to this. Which, that just reeks of bullshit. Like, that seems like something that would exist maybe in, like, the 1800s or during a period of time where they had an oppressive leader that just made weird bullshit laws. But again, that's one I'm partially calling bullshit on.
Yeah, because I don't think Japan will be to.
Christina found a place.
I don't think
777.
that would be really strange that in modern Japan they would talk about cuckolding.
To the end.
True.
Or I guess it is for.
Okay, the next one here. The importing of photographs showing genitals is against the law. How very boring. How very boring indeed.
That counts all.
Yeah, that's very. Yeah. They censor a lot of stuff, anyways.
Which is weird to me because if you watch, like, a general anime, it is very, very pervy. So the fact that they'd be prudish against, like, showing actual genitals would be weird.
Yeah, their indecency laws is pretty weird. Like there was literally there's this woman, this artist. She has a sculpture of her actual vagina, and she actually got arrested for that.
Damn.
And from what I heard, there's actually like display pornography like in public, like on the screens.
That's weird.
Exactly. I mean, it's censored, but still.
I'm not sure. I mean, she will call it probably manager.
It just seems so weird to me, like, it's, like, illegal to import it, but everything else is fine. I mean, to me, that would be, like, the equivalent of, like, me hitting on a girl in a bar, like, very aggressively and very sexually, but when she says, okay, let's have sex, I go, whoa, 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 what are you doing? Like,
Exactly.
if you're gonna do all that build-up, go all the way with it.
It's like calling rape even though you're asking for it.
Yeah. Here we go, on 5. Women are legally obliged to wear bras in buildings with air conditioning. It says on here because men get too aroused by looking at hard nipples, but I'm assuming it's probably like indecency things like, hey, if I can see your nipples through your shirts, Japan. If I can see your nipples through your shirt, then that's considered obscene. I feel like that's more what it has to do with it.
Yeah, I could see that, but it's just like that should be like common sense instead of just making it as a policy.
Yeah, either very conservative or they are very liberal.
Yeah.
There's no between.
I mean, I don't see why they have to be so prudish about it.
Another.
I mean, and it does seem a little, like, sexist towards men, whether or not you argue that's a thing. I mean, it seems a little pandering to me saying, like, oh, no, you'll get distracted by them. Like, no, bullshit, I'm gonna do my goddamn job. Okay.
Yeah.
If I wanted to look at nipples, I would sit at home and watch them on my computer. I am here to work. I'm not gonna be distracted.
Exactly.
You want me to spell it?
Yeah.
Because if some perv thinks that's his fault, he should go get help. Don't put this on me because someone has a sex addiction.
Yeah, like, it's not my fault Bill can't control himself when he sees titties, okay? Why do we all have to be punished for that?
Exactly. They're messed up for everybody.
Freaking screw Bill. He's rude to his mother and he smokes in the bathroom. Everybody knows, but nobody says anything because he says he has lung cancer, even though half of us think that's bullshit.
Exactly, because otherwise he wouldn't do it.
Just coming up with these oddly specific examples about this hypothetical person.
Right?
Let's see. Home brewing anything over 1% alcohol in Japan is illegal. And you will lose your brewing license and equipment if you do so. Which, 1% is very low. Like, what I'm drinking right now if it even has it, is like 15%. And this is just enough to give me a buzz, so like 1% alcohol is such weak sauce. Like, you might as well not even be brewing beer at that point.
Exactly. I guess they want to have a very, very dry society.
No, it's boring. Just so boring.
This way, Amsterdam, at least, like their marijuana is supposed to, like, it can't be exceeding over 15% potency. At least that one's more understandable. At least it has more potency and more thing to give you a nice buzz than it is with 1%.
Friggin' Amsterdam, I know so many potheads that want to go and live there. Okay, here's a new one. A few years back, a Chinese soap hit it big with customers in Asia. It claimed in ads that users would lose weight with seaweed defat scented soap. I've heard of this kind of bullshit before. Simply by washing with it. The soap was sold in violation to the Japanese Pharmaceutical Affairs Law and was banned. Reportedly, the craze for the soap was so great that Japanese tourists from China and Hong Kong brought it back in large quantities. The product was also in violation of customs regulations, and in June and July of 1999 alone, over 10,000 bars were seized. So, basically, a bunch of people bought into, like, the bullshit you'd see on a late-night TV ad, and it got so bad that they ended up seizing and banning it. Like, people, here's what helps you lose weight. Eating less sugary shit, exercising more, and drinking more water. Not wearing certain clothes, not using a certain soap, or not putting some bullshit on your head while you're sleeping. Don't waste your money on these crackpot scam artists. Use that money to buy some broccoli or something.
And don't eat worms too, to expected to eat the fat off of your stomach, because that's just dangerous and stupid.
Oh God, don't ever do that. That's a terrible idea. Do not use, like, parasites to solve your problem.
Yeah, I know.
Because otherwise they'll end up killing you.
I know.
Like, there's a reason why we don't use leeches to cure disease anymore.
If it's that price,
Exactly.
if it's that price for 4 pieces.
Is it the one that has that?
In the 1630s, a decree in Japan forbade the building of any large ocean-worthy ships to deter defection. So essentially they're like, don't make any big ships, that way people won't want to leave on the big ships.
So like for like people who want to leave Japan, like, immigrants and stuff, immigration.
Yeah, so like to keep people from leaving Japan, they would stop the building of like those large ships, like nothing like what we have today.
Potential refugees and refugees.
But the odd thing is, they have nothing wrong with people going there, they just don't want anyone to leave.
So once you leave, you can never go back. Once you're in there, you can never get out.
Never. The first rule of Japan.
It's like being in a gang. Once you get in, you never get out. The only thing you're getting out is in a box.
And do you want that? I don't think you do. And last but not least, okay. The nationality law says that a child born out of wedlock to a non-Japanese mother is only recognized as a citizen if the Japanese father admits that he's the father prior to the birth or marries the mother before the child turns 20. So just pretty much, that's not really that weird. I mean, we kind of have something like that here in America, but I guess it's sort of like kind of weird that the father could hold that over your head.
Yeah, like, what about the other way around? So is it just the...
I don't think it works the other way around. I think it's just if it's a Japanese mother and a Japanese father. Oh no, I mean a non-Japanese mother and a Japanese father.
Well, you can take.
Okay.
Yeah, one bus is like.
Which,
20
you know,
bus.
mildly sexist, you
18
know.
minutes.
Why can't a woman just, like, not marry the father and keep her son's citizenship in limbo for
That's
a
three
while?
buses. Three different
Exactly.
I don't trust.
They deserve to control that child's citizenship, too.
One walk.
Exactly. Because she's a citizen herself.
That's in corner place.
And that pretty much ends the laws in Japan. I'm a little disappointed that there weren't, like, weirder laws. I think what I should start doing is I should start looking up past laws. Like, there's some weird stuff there. I know I found a list of like 5 weird laws in Illinois, and I think that's the next one I'm going to do, strictly because they're very strange and how specific they are.
And fun fact, Spencer's in Chicago.
I do live in Chicago, or Chirac, as the Spike Lee movie called it.
Yeah. Or Chief Keef.
Chief Keef.
I call it Chiran just to be different.
From now on, the 5 Knuckle
Trademark.
Gamers refer to Chicago as Chiran.
Yeah. And we trademarking that. We trademarking that too.
Copyrighted 2015, 2016, 5 Knuckle Gamers.
Exactly.
So, you know, look forward to Illinois in next week's podcast.
All right.
Alright, so we finished weird laws in Japan. What do you think we should talk about next, my friend?
Let's talk about the IGN.
Oh, yeah, the IG.
L's out. Let's hand those L's out.
Up and
Yeah.
What does he mean? Is he a full
So,
student?
actually, why do I have these tabs
Most of the
pulled
day,
up?
right? And he takes weekends.
So, in general, how would you say with IGN's rating system? How do you feel about it?
Studio, right?
It is god awful. It's horrible.
he's moving now in the summer.
Because they give the most crappiest games really good scores over games that deserve better.
We'll apply for that 777.
And the people for the good games, they're not really judging the games based on
But
you know
How do you have that?
the gameplay or anything. They'll talk about something that's like too hard or something that's like something miscellaneous that is not a big huge essential part of the thing. It's just like it's meaningless.
Yeah, I feel like most of the time they have a checklist that says, okay, we need to equally talk about good and bad things, but like the bad things will be so minute that there's no point in even talking about them, and it should weigh down the score. Like, I'll pull up the picture, and I'll play the video too, but there was a review of a Pokemon game, as you can see on here, 7.8, gorgeous details, good post-game content, smart updates, but too much water, 7.8. I saw that too, like, I remember one comment I saw, like, they're so fun to make fun of IGN. You know, I'll still watch them, but I'll poke fun at them. But I saw, like, the review of Zootopia, and, like, the top-rated comment at the bottom was, Zootopia, pro everything, con too many animals, 7.5.
That's the best impression of IGN ever.
Pretty much is. Or either that or, like, we'll have a game like Portal 2, and it'll be, like, innovative, creative, fun, but it's not Call of Duty, 7 out of 10.
Or pretty much anyone that pays them the most money.
Yeah, that's sort of what Gamergate was ranting about during their prime, about, like, people buying reviews and buying content. Because one thing they do, like, some of these people, whereas, like, if your paper gave, like, one of their games a bad rating, they wouldn't let you into press conferences.
He was
So
so
like, if
sensitive.
someone from like Otaku or something, Kotaku, said like,
Hmm.
okay, this game wasn't very good, then that studio would remember them and would say, okay, this guy's probably going to say something bad about our next game, so keep him out. That way we can only get good content put out.
They've been blacklisted from several other from like some of the like a couple studios because of they was leaking information like too fast about the games. I think it was I think Bethesda was one of them. I forgot who the other ones were.
Yeah, you can't do that. I don't know, yeah, like, here I'll play the random video. We talk over it.
Yeah,
Overall,
like,
I've never really played Pokemon games. I played Stadium a lot as a kid, and I played some knockoff games. Like, I played the Shaman King game, which was basically Pokemon just with ghosts.
That
What
sounds
is-
pretty dope.
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, granted, I knew very little about Shaman King. Like, I stepped in about halfway through. That was when, if any of you are fans, I started reading the manga when Lyserg showed up, and sort of read that for a while. Eventually stopped.
Yeah, I haven't read the whole thing, and I remember watching the show when it came on, like a long time ago, and then like I read some of the manga after that, and I didn't really read the whole thing. I would read like volume. I had like volume 17, and I barely remembered all the other ones I ever read previously. So I'm like super off on the story.
Yeah, I should sit down sometime and watch it.
Yeah.
I know, like, the next manga, or I mean, the next anime I'm gonna watch is Future Diary. But, you know, like, those really long ones, like Naruto or Dragon Ball Z, I just really don't have the time to sit down and watch all of those episodes, so I'll always find short series like Elfen Lied or Higurashi.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, people might be laughing at me, but I'm actually watching. I'm currently watching My Love Story. It's actually pretty interesting. It's like there's this big, huge. It's like when opposites attract, I guess. Type of story. It's like this big, huge guy, and he's like he's like really strong and stuff like that, and he couldn't get a woman ever like in his life because despite how hard he tries, they won't like him. But he has a friend that all the girls liked him. So every time he likes a girl, he'll the girl he likes goes to try to confess to him, but the friend rejects them all. Rejects them all. So, but and then he finally has this girl. She's like really delicate. She knows how to bake. She's like really nice and stuff like that. And she finally, and she falls in love. And she falls in love with him after saving her from like getting groped on a train. And then like in every episode he saves people from like certain danger. Like one episode he saves a boy from drowning, and the other one he saved her friends despite of the crap they was talking about him, and saved him from a burning fire. He always puts himself in danger and stuff like that. And one weird messed up thing was that like the people who saves like people who are saving other people's lives, like he'll have he'll have his friend help him out for like like return something to like the person who was who they're saving. The big guy did most of the work, but the smaller guy was ended up getting thanked, so the big guy was ignored.
That's life.
Yeah, it's really cruel.
You spoke of like getting groped on a train. One I watched, Watamote. If you've never seen that, it's pretty much the most awkward teen in the world, sort of slice of life thing. And like she's so awkward and so envious of everybody to the point where she actually gets jealous that she's never been groped on a train. So she like sits all day on a train waiting to get groped.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's pretty much it. And she like gets caught on this umbrella and she starts panicking and thinking like she's being attacked and immediately regrets her decision. But it's like it's a very awkward show. Like I remember in one episode, I forget why, but she hits on her own brother to like get something from him. I know, it was so weird too. She's like, "Hey, your sister's in her school uniform." It was just so weird, but that's partially why I kind of like it. Like, while it does have the typical perviness you'd expect from anime, it's at least has some fun with it.
Yeah, like, oh man. Okay. There's this like if you go to website Crunchyroll, I was watching this series, this little mini series. It's like the episodes are like 3 minutes long, and there was this one show that involves like marshmallows. I forgot what it's really called. Just look for something with marshmallow in it. So there's these two people, a man and a woman, who work together, and the woman likes the guy, and they have like a mutual. Yeah, sorry, my words, man, my words. I can't speak today. Mutual love over these marshmallows. So then, he'll focus more on the marshmallows than the girl, and the girl would try everything she can just to get the guy to like her, or have some sort of intimate touching or whatever, because she offers marshmallows, and she'll put one in her mouth and just to try to get him to get to bite the marshmallow, and so she can get a kiss off of him. And then there was one when they was on the train, and then he this, mind you, this guy was he's fat, he's big, and he went accidentally went on the wrong car, and it was the car was only for women only. So then they went to go to another car, but then this is this thing in between the train cars, and it was a really tight space, and then she was her head was buried in his chest. And she tried to give him the marshmallow and stuff. It was just so awkward because she couldn't see. So pretty much, and then after she went home, right? And then her brother came into her room, and then she stuffed her face in her pillows and stuff. After that incident, because she likes him and stuff. You have to watch it. I suck at explaining everything.
Anime. I think we could probably do our favorites during the next podcast, possibly.
A favorite what?
Favorite animes or manga or something along those lines.
What we're currently reading or watching. Okay.
Yeah. That'd be an interesting idea. What are yours? Leave a comment down below.
We just went from IGN to anime.
Yeah, no, that's a weird thing I've noticed whenever we do this podcast. We get off track. It doesn't even matter who we have with us. We always get off track. I mean, it happened with Roman. It happened with Xavier. Have we ever actually had Micah on one of these?
Yeah, he was on the first two.
Oh,
and
right.
The second one, I remember we did rock puns. I don't know if you edited out or.
No, I don't think I edited it out. I think it's just been so long that I've forgotten.
Yeah. Yeah, like it was like a bunch of rock puns on the second one. I remember that one.
I think I might have blocked that out of my mind. Puns, like, I've gotten to the point where I almost ignore them. So, like, I remember someone in my class, I was talking about the movie 10 Cloverfield Lane, and a friend commented, like, oh, I guess John Goodman was not a good man. And I completely ignored it. I'm like, no, he wasn't. Like, I saw what you did. I'm going to ignore it. Or this one time I told this story about a friend burning me with a screwdriver, and my teacher commented, oh, well, I guess he's your designated driver, huh?
What? What?
Oh, I never told you that story?
No, I don't think you did.
So, I won't name him for the sake of, like, you know, I don't want him to be harassed or anything, but, like, I got into an argument with him. I can't remember what it was about, even. I think we were complaining about what actor played a character. And so he walks off somewhere. I'm just like walking around his house, minding my own business. And he sort of comes up to me and has something behind his back. And I'm like, okay, dude, what do you have? And he pressed the screwdriver against my skin, and it burned like hell. He was like, okay, for like the 2.5 minutes he was gone, he was heating a screwdriver underneath a candle and pressed it against my skin. And it like blistered within 5 minutes. I had a scar for about a year. It's faded away now.
Oh God.
But yeah, he burnt me with a goddamn screwdriver over arguing about some stupid movie.
Oh my God.
I can't even remember what the movie was about.
If anything,
yeah, we had crazy adventures. Like, we used to do Let's Plays together. And he actually strangled me during one of them.
really?
Yeah,
Like
we got into another argument, and I made a comment about his mother, so he threw his controller at me, then strangled me.
Dang.
Like, he didn't hit me in the face or anything, but, like, he threw it at me and strangled me. Granted, I had it coming because the mother comment was a little out of line, I'll admit. I was young and inexperienced.
Yeah. So I guess you really screwed that up. Oh my God.
Yes, I did.
God.
Just going to ignore your
the
puns. Even though I'm guilty of it too.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, in terms of puns, I feel like the best equivalent to describe how I am towards them, it's like, if I were secretly a person that smoked, but constantly talked about how other smokers are disgusting, without letting anyone know that I do it myself.
Yeah, that's a good equivalent. That's a
Yeah,
good
so it's
equivalent.
like, I'd be smoking a cigarette myself and be like, did you know Jane smokes? God, that's so disgusting. Taking a puff.
Yeah.
Just start blowing smoke on the person I'm talking to. It's so gross, right? I mean, think of the tar and the pesticides.
And then he just you just blow smoke and then just like someone has like that weird face just looking at you.
Yeah. just their expression doesn't change the entire minute I'm doing my rant.
He got that eat ass face. Got that I just ate ass and I regretted it face.
It's the worst kind of face. Just so much regret and shock.
Because I'm standing and talking to a hypocrite right now.
Hypocrites. They aggravate so many.
Yeah. So, what do you want to talk about next?
We could do the cross-platforming.
Alright.
Yeah, I do have a few things to say about that. Let me pull up the visual aid. My visual aid. There we go. So, yeah, apparently... Oh, no, I dropped my mic. Damn it all. My foot got tangled in the cord, and I knocked it over. But anyways, yeah, Xbox and PlayStation are soon going to be cross-platforming.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it should be cool. In the past, what they did with Portal 2, they did cross-platforming with just Xbox and PC, to where, PC players play with Xbox and Xbox and PC players. That's a cool concept, and I'd like to see it with Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Maybe we can team together and just take on the PC gamers.
Yeah, the console peasants have had enough.
There will be an uprising.
Yeah, like PS4 and PC, they did a cross play with like Street Fighter.
All right.
Yeah, this will make things a whole lot easier for me because like for the GTA 5 movie that I was trying to go for.
Yeah, this way we'll have more people to help.
Mm-hmm. I'm just curious as to if Sony is actually considering it. They're gonna need to fix the servers, man.
Yeah, they'll have to get their shit together on that.
Because even before like considering it, I would think they would need to fix their servers to make things seem better, so they could so it can actually intertwine with Xbox.
Yeah, it would be preferred. I mean,
And the game.
while I appreciate, I don't have to pay money to use the damn internet, it could help if, they didn't get hacked every now and again. I mean, granted, that's kind of what I get for picking free over paid, but still.
Yeah, they're still going for the paid stuff, with the plus and all that, but it still gets hacked and tampered with.
Sony gets hacked so much.
I mean, they're more of a hardware thing. They're more of a hardware device than it is. They're more better with their hardware than it is with software. That's why Xbox is doing better with their internet. It still gets hacked, and people don't. It's less talked about, but still it's less incurred than it is on PlayStation, because Microsoft is more of a software thing. They're a software company.
All things considered.
And the first game they're going to start with is Rocket League.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Should be known. That's a good start. That's a simple enough place to start.
They should have done this a long time ago.
Really, they should have, but at least they're doing it now.
Yeah. Speaking of the play, God, I'm so awkward today. I'm not getting enough sleep. Speaking of PlayStation is supposedly going to have an upgraded version called the PS 4.5.
Oh, yeah. I actually thought that was a joke at first.
Yeah, I thought it was some sort of troll or whatever, but I saw it on some gaming, on a gaming Facebook page. So I have to look at it. I have to look for it myself. So I saw a video with Alpha Omega Sin talking about it. So supposedly they're going to enhance the GPU and the CPU, and get you to play games in 4K. And supposedly Xbox is going to do the same thing. They're going to try to do something regarding to have like upgraded, specs and stuff. And like trying to make it, like, they're trying to make consoles relatively like PC, pretty much.
Okay. Well, hey, I would love to play the next Uncharted game in like 4K multiplayer. I will say, like, Uncharted 2 was probably my favorite multiplayer experience. There was one where you like had a map in the Tibetan mountains where the only weapons in the game were RPGs. It was just so much fun. RPGs, rocket launchers, just blowing people up, leaping from different buildings, pulling people off the ledge. Like, it was such a fun experience.
Yeah, that sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do any more beta stuff for like Uncharted 4 for the channel. I did it from like the Steve and the Magic Shrimp channel, which I've privatized my gaming videos on that for now because I'm planning on doing different content, but may put video game stuff every once in a while there. I don't know,
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what next game I'm going to do for our channel. Since like Micah even himself has said, Spencer, you need to try to do a game. He tried to get me to do the Michonne DLC, but since he was already doing it, I didn't really see a point.
You said Michonne?
Yeah. In this, she's played by Poussey from Orange Is the New Black.
Oh, you're talking about that Walking Dead game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, as much as I like the actress, I kind of thought it would have been a little bit cooler if they brought in the AMC actress.
Who?
Crap, I forget her name. I'll look it up. Yes, I know Michonne and Rick are a thing. I don't like it.
So he was trying to get you to play the same game as like to put it on the same channel.
Okay, yeah, her name is Dana Guerrera. But
This
either
is
way, she's the badass from Walking Dead. And yeah, Micah tried to get me to do it, but I didn't really see much of a point. I didn't want to crowd up the channel, so he pretty much did his own commentary, no commentary. My main grievance with it was that I felt like we would have made similar choices, just with like one or two differences, and I felt like that wouldn't have been satisfying. Because either make it exactly the same without the commentary, or make it different. Even though in our Tales from the Borderlands playthroughs, we made very different choices. Like, it was staggering, too. Like, 70% we made the opposite choices from each other. I wish, like, I would have uploaded footage. Because it's probably my favorite Telltale game.
Yeah, Tales from Borderlands is pretty cool.
It's going to lead up to Borderlands 3, which may be playable cross-platform. Xbox and PlayStation 4 people teaming together to fight the monsters of Pandora.
Yeah, we need to stop these console wars and become a truce. Become, gaming master race. How about that? A gaming race instead of just the whole division.
And we just shit on every other form of entertainment, like, comic books, where's the controller for that? Oh, movies, can I choose what dialogue they talk in movies? No, then get them away from me. Just be pricks to everyone else.
Yeah, just crap on Hollywood, just crap on the music industry.
Well, I do hate the console wars. I mean, I do think they're a little fun. Like, I think my favorite sketch from the Teenage Pokemon cartoons that I think Machinima put out, which nobody liked for any reason. Like, it's very mixed. but they had this really funny one where there was two people arguing about what the better Xbox was, and the attacks would be like Pokemon attacked, like piss fighting or something like that,
Mhm.
or so and so used High and Mighty. It's super effective and stuff like that.
Oh, like the turn based references.
Yeah. I'll see if I can
No.
look it up real quick just to give specific examples. But yeah, it was probably like the one good one they put out. Nobody else liked the others. Like, I can see why, like, their sense of humor is a little out there. But, I always feel bad for, like, people on the internet that make stuff as opposed to Hollywood, because those are, like, corporate people that, like, have millions of dollars to waste away on projects. But, like, with people on the internet, these are people that put effort into what they do. Like, these are people who probably have a job that's not even related to what they put out on the internet, and they're not able to make a living off of their animation. So, when I see people shitting on their animation, I always just feel bad for them.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't like how people, like when something good happens and they'll just try to use that as an argument or whatever. It's like we're probably gonna get the same thing too, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, pissing contest, that's what I was thinking of. War Turtle used pissing contest, and then Servine used High and Mighty and stuff like that. But anyways, yeah, like, there was one, like, the Best Friends, if you know who they are, the channel Switcher. They were talking about this one video of, like, this girl who was doing this ventriloquist act at her high school, but, like, partway through, nobody was laughing, and she just became increasingly nervous and, like, started biting her nails and talking to her stuff and just started speaking more and more quiet. Like, it just pains me to see that happen to people. Like, someone have a passion and it just not be accepted by someone. And especially to that extent, like, while I'll occasionally laugh at people on cringe compilations, if it goes on for too much and I see that it's, like, really affecting them emotionally, then it's like, I can't laugh at that. And it's tough for me to, like, laugh at animations, too. Like, I'll poke fun every now and again, but if it really impacts the person, then I won't do it, strictly because I kind of know how that feels.
Yeah, give it like on the like whenever I speak, like even right now, I am very nervous right now. Like I don't know, I just keep messing up. I keep stuttering. Like as you can plainly see, that I'm just stuttering and saying the same things. And I'm just like repeating myself. It's just like it irks me a little bit. I'm very nervous right now.
Oh no, I totally know how that is. Like, I was like that too, like, when I first did public speaking for the first time. Like, I was really nervous too. Well, first of all, I was a little dumbass as a freshman, so first of all, I had no idea what the hell I was talking about, but what didn't help was, like, my stuttering. And, like, occasionally repeating myself. I did, like, the Marco Rubio thing and repeated myself a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like, yeah, like, public speaking is, like, a really scary thing for a lot of people. Like, that seems to be, like, a main anxiety thing of, like, embarrassing yourself in front of people.
It's probably because I set the bar. It's probably people set their expectations on themselves too high. I guess that's how I'm feeling. Like, cause like with my artwork, I'm very sensitive to my own stuff, and my public speaking. Like whenever I'm thinking about how I screwed up a word and I just don't keep going and I just repeat what I said just so I can make it more clear or sound better. But in the end, it's just making things a whole lot worse.
Oh, no, I'm the same way. Like, especially with my screenplays, like, I take it very seriously and the smallest mistakes get to me. Like, And I'll get really mad too, and I'll just delete everything and have like a freak out. Like, if you've ever seen that one Nicolas Cage movie where he's like an artist and he starts like stabbing his paintings and starts smearing black paint all over his body and screaming and slapping his thighs, that's pretty much me. I mean, minus the screaming and swearing, because I don't want the people in the dorm next to me to think I'm dying, regardless of how loud he screams. Which, granted, I do too. Like, I swear all the time when I'm playing The Last of Us online.
Yeah, man. I'm just like, I remember one time when I couldn't get a drawing right, like proportions or anything. I couldn't get one successful drawing. So then I just looked up like swear words and curse words in Italian, just so I could just pick up a new language in swearing. So that because when it comes to like the next time when I can't do anything right, I'll just like shout something out in Italian so my mom won't know what I'm saying. That's like the best way to learn a new language is to learn the curse words for the next time you're raging.
Yeah. I'm playing a video on this right now as we're talking. If you don't know who this guy is, he basically, in this video here, sitting and smiling, if you can see the time there, he does it for 4 hours. Yeah, you probably don't know this, but there's this guy. He will sit here in front of the camera and just stare at it and smile for 4 hours of video, and he's made over 100.
He made 100?
100 videos of himself sitting in front of the camera for over 4 hours just smiling.
He's not doing anything else, just smiling.
He will occasionally adjust himself, but he will be in the same exact sitting position. Still staring at the camera, still smiling.
Dude, he's got to be hella bored in order to do that. He's got to have a lot of time on his hands.
Yeah, I love the comments too. It's like, looks like I entered that part of YouTube again. Or, That's 400 hours of his time. Cocaine is one hell of a drug.
Is that in the comments?
Yeah. I love it when he sat there and smiled at the camera.
Bro, I can't sit for 4 hours for that.
Yeah, supposedly, I don't know if this is true, I really don't think it is, but supposedly on his fourth one, someone, some stranger, walked into his apartment while he was doing this, and opened the door to see who was inside the room, and just saw him sitting there just staring at his camera, smiling, not even acknowledging him, and just shut the door and walked out.
So that was the only one interesting thing.
Yeah, it's just such a weird thing to do.
And this is on YouTube?
Yeah, this is on YouTube. His name is Benjamin Bennett.
Benjamin Bennett. That kind of sounds familiar. So that's all he does on this channel?
That's all he does.
How many subs he has?
He has 7,200.
He's got more than us. And he just sits and smile. Oh my god.
Yeah. He has more than us in his entire... but I think he's been doing it longer. This sitting and smiling video was put up in July of 2014.
2 years? Almost going on 2 years?
Yeah,
and he's
been doing this for 2 years. I'm gonna pull something up real quick. Actually, no, he's at 184.
1,000 or
184 videos.
Oh.
So, the audience gets to see a progression of his age throughout by playing the very first one and the very last one.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's gotten to 184, and do people actually sitting here and watching this crap?
And let alone sub to him for the next, that's just predictable, man.
I'll admit it is, an interesting thing to do, but not for over 184 videos at 4 goddamn hours apiece.
Exactly. Like I remember, like I'll probably do that like at least once, and then like the other ones I'll just do something. I'll just do something else. But just having that as a soul, as a whole platform, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah. So, it's shit like that. Like, it just goes to show you that some content creators out there just don't care.
Exactly.
But,
My
yeah, overall, like, my god, we always get off topic. Like, I'm showing a video of a guy sitting here and staring at a camera smiling for 4 goddamn hours when we were talking about the relations between Xbox fans and PlayStation fans. I think that's the charm of our channel. You just never know where we're going to go. Like, we always end up going somewhere stranger than what we were originally talking about.
Yeah, that's our platform. That's us right there.
Whether it's like you bringing up something you watched, Micah talking about some stupid pun, or me knowing about these kind of damn videos on the internet.
And we just moved from IGN to anime.
IGN to anime.
It
But
just
yeah,
excelled so quickly.
overall, to actually sum it up, I think it's good. We all should unify. I mean, we're all fans of video games, so why not stay that way? I mean, you don't see, like, Fox fans and Paramount fans at each other's throats.
Exactly. Crips and Bloods don't even fight the music artists who are Bloods and Crips. They actually collaborate.
I've noticed that. It's not
So it
as
goes
bad
to
as you think.
It goes to show of how illogical it can be with we fighting over game consoles when there are people who were supposedly at war or really at peace and just being more unified. That right there is a shame. This puts a shame to our community. As it seems that's how I feel.
Yeah. I mean, it just hurts us as a whole.
We already have this like negative. We have this negative stereotypes of gamers and stuff. How we're basement dwellers and crap, and how how the games are brainwashing our children and causing school shootings and stuff like that. But it's even worse for just because of someone's brand and platform
Yeah.
preference.
Really, there's no point in the fighting.
I guess it's in their nature to be combative.
Yeah, I guess it can't be helped.
Because history. Because in history, all we
Really,
do is
there's no
fight.
point in
So
the fighting.
it's not really much of a surprise to me.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we have. I know there's like one more. But I can't remember what.
Pokin.
Oh yeah, Palkin. Thoughts?
What I've seen so far, it looks pretty fun. I just wonder how long it's gonna last.
Hard to say. Most good things don't.
Yeah.
To get all cynical about it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what new Pokemon they're gonna add for like DLC and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because honestly, when I first saw it, I thought it was going to be just like fighting types, because it's a fighting game. But then they add like Pikachu and all these other non-fighting types. I don't know. It just opens the door other of what they're going to put for their game.
So many possibilities. I like it.
Have you seen any gameplay of it?
A few screenshots, never any video. I mean, I probably should watch some video. I mean, it sounds nice. Yeah, and the screenshots and the graphics look nice.
Just can't wait to see what they're gonna do for Evo.
Oh yeah.
Because I've seen people play online and people play the computer on like for story mode. I'm just wondering how the camera angles will look like on the 2-player if there's ever gonna be is it 2-player? It should be.
Yeah, it definitely should be. Oh look.
Cause I think with Nintendo they do have local play.
Yep, there's one of them looking at a picture of like Pikachu in a luchador mask. Or a luchador looking mask.
That's pretty interesting. I mean, Pikachu is the mascot of Pokemon.
Yeah, Pikachu pretty much is at this point.
So it only makes sense for them to add Pikachu on there.
Pikachu is adorable.
Yeah. And what is your favorite Pokemon?
Tough to say. Pikachu is definitely up there. I'd probably have to say Mew. From like, the Pokemon movie, I always liked Mew. Since Mew was like always like this carefree, I don't really care about anything kind of Pokemon with psychic powers. Like while Mewtwo was basically, screw the humans, I'm gonna use my power to kill everyone. All Mew pretty much does is just like fuck around for the entire movie. And I kind of like that in characters who like just don't care, but get forced into situations.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd probably say overall Mew was pretty cool. What about you? What's your favorite?
I guess Blaziken.
Oh right.
That was my cause it was my starter for like the first Pokemon game I owned was it was Emerald. That's how I got into Pokemon games for the Game Boy Advance, and then actually it was Combuskin because I was like playing with that a lot, and then it just became just Blaziken. But then I'm just changing to like Inferno Ape.
Yeah. Pokemon is damn good. They're damn good at marketing.
Oh yeah. Are you looking forward to the new games, the Sun and Moon?
I'd be willing to give them a go. I'm starting to get more into Pokemon, at least in terms of playing them. I really don't have much interest in the show anymore at this point. That's just like, personal for me.
I stopped after like Diamond and Pearl.
I stopped, about a little bit after Misty left. And, like, I watched again when they had, what was her name? Dawn. Just to see where the series had gone. And like, while
Yeah.
it did bring in like a few new things, it was basically the same.
Yeah, you missed the one with May because those were the best ones. That was the best one.
I saw like the movies with May and Max, was it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I watched like the movies with May and Max, and I thought those were kind of cool. Like the one with like the white blood cells basically eating them.
oh God,
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't even remember that movie.
They weren't like literal white blood cells, but they were like this goo-like Pokemon that attacked the people but left the Pokemon alone. They were okay in the end, but yeah, and there was like I think a blind talking Lucario in it.
Oh yeah.
So I
Yeah, that
really
was-
liked that one. Like, I was never all that big into like the Pokemon movies, but I'll say that one is probably one of my favorites. That in the first movie, but that's just like for nostalgia's sake.
Yeah, I would just like I remember like a little bit from the old. I think the Latios and Latias was my favorite because that's like the one I remember, and also nostalgia.
I remember liking Meowth and always wondering why like they never gave away Meowth to their boss. Because like the boss is always like, bring me Pokemon, but like, okay, here's one that can speak, talk in a human language, not only that, but also understand every other Pokemon and what they're saying. So why wouldn't you want that? Why wouldn't you want something that can literally translate everything they're saying? But oh well.
I don't know.
I'm not a mob boss, so I can't say what mob bosses would do with monsters that can control elements.
Exactly. And like his main Pokemon that he keeps with him is the evolved form from Meowth. So, ironically,
Yeah.
it's probably in that sense.
But that's what always bothered me as a kid. Like, why wouldn't he want that? Like, stop trying to steal the damn Pikachu. There's like a million Pikachus. You give him the damn talking one.
Yeah.
How many talking
yeah, like,
goddamn Pokemon are there? Not very many.
exactly. Like, I understand they feel like still legendaries and stuff like that. I don't. Yeah. It makes sense they're still legendaries and rare Pokemon, and if that Pikachu is if Ash's Pikachu actually is a talker, but there's nothing too special. It's just like he's very strong, but it's still like he's not really much worth stealing.
I guess for them it's sort of like a Wile E. Coyote thing, like after trying so hard to do something, eventually you'll just keep pursuing it just 'cause.
Yeah. I mean, because Wile E. Coyote spends a whole lot of money on Acme products just to catch one fast bird.
He does, and he has to make a lot of money from like lawsuits to afford more stuff because he's always getting slammed into mountains or has the dynamite backfire on him. So you gotta imagine for a coyote, he has a damn good lawyer so he can make so much off of that.
And not to mention hospital bills.
Not to mention like the hospital bills, and he has to eat other stuff. So I imagine at this point it's probably like he tried to eat it, it got away, but he kept trying so many times it basically becomes an obsession with him.
Yeah, I think it's like, I guess in a way, it's like in a sense an accomplishment.
I feel like, yeah, like after you screw up so many times, you just want to say, no, I'm actually going to do this. I'm actually going to succeed.
It's like, if I can't have it, no one can. Well, but that would mean like trying to kill it and stuff. I don't know.
Which he kind of does. Trying to murder the poor thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Space Jam 2. Still looking forward to it.
Is there any new info on that?
I forget who the actor they had was. I know he said he wasn't willing to do it right now.
I thought it was like LeBron that was gonna add on there.
I think it was. And maybe bring back like Michael Jordan as like a cameo.
Probably, but I wouldn't count on it too much.
Yeah, fair point. I really wouldn't either. Yeah, LeBron James.
It would seem to make sense to put him on there.
It would. God, man, Space Jam is just a weird movie. I love it though. Like, it's very nostalgic for me.
I just hope they keep their original, animations from like the older cartoons rather than just the newer, Looney Tunes show.
Yeah. Because while the newer Looney Tunes show is okay, like, the old animation has a charm to it. Like, it's pretty much what I grew up on.
And I guess the art style too. I guess.
Yeah, the art style.
That's an interesting topic to ask about. What cartoon universe do you want to see like integrate into the real world, like what Space Jam did?
I'm trying to think of one that could be done well. Because I know they did it for Fat Albert, and they kind of did it for Smurfs.
It could be for anime too, to make it more interesting.
Crap, it's such a good question because, like, there's so many different forms of source material to sort of think about. If I had to narrow it down, I would say... Yeah, really delaying on this one. Just drum roll, please, or I don't know, whatever. Shut up. I guess bringing in, like, maybe Hanna-Barbera cartoons would be cool. Like, maybe cartoon versions of Scooby-Doo and, like, cartoon versions of, like, Flintstones and Jetsons and stuff like that, just to see where they'd go with it.
I was thinking for like for a cartoon, like a regular American cartoon, I would kind of want to see to get to to interact with the real world. I would say maybe that's difficult.
Yeah, because for me it was either Hanna-Barbera or Class of 3000.
Oh, that would be pretty cool. Class 3000.
Like,
that
just
would be pretty
imagine
dope.
the potential. Like, they could bring in so many musical artists and just, like, make it a really artsy, almost like just one giant music video kind of movie.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. And just what kind of cameos that could integrate in there. That'd be pretty funny if Andre 3000 will play himself and Sonny Bridges from the show.
Yeah, that would be a cool moment to have.
Like in Fat Albert, like Bill Cosby meeting his characters going to real life. He passing out. He just passed out.
My favorite part of the movie, yeah, is like him freaking out, or like that one moment, I forget the character's name, but he like loses his hat and he has no face.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. And it was played by Marcus Houston. Oh, what was it? It was so long ago. It was so long ago.
Such nostalgia.
All I know is Mushmouth, Albert, and Ah, I forgot. But for me, I was thinking about an Adult Swim show like probably like Harvey Berman. No, no, wait. I would like to see an Archer.
Oh yeah, his name was Dumb. Yeah, Dumb Donald Parker, the character's name. But
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
an Archer would be cool.
Like I just want to see how they do that. Like just like Krieger just making some sort of like alternate like some sort of universe thing, and they'll just go and travel to different dimensions.
Oh,
And
that's
then like
right. He was played by Keenan Thompson.
yeah,
I completely forgot about that. Like, my God, like Keenan Thompson, Fat Albert, and Good Burger.
yeah, man, that was funny. Keaton and Kale when they did that skit. I remember this guy was ordering fruit punch and the guy punched him in the face.
Good times.
Yeah, I would think either like for a cartoon, I think either Archer or maybe like Harvey Berman, Attorney at Law, just to see how they're gonna do with that.
Yeah, that would be an interesting thing. Like, Harvey
Or
Birdman
Venture
is like the strangest thing ever for me.
They just got all the Hanna-Barbera cartoons, and like they'd be put into lawsuits for doing the most outrageous stuff. And I also also be interested to see was Venture Brothers.
Yeah, Venture Brothers movie. They could do it too.
Like if not have like if they didn't have the integrated cartoon mixed with real life, they'll just have like a live action movie. That would be pretty interesting as well. Be interested in who will play as those characters.
Maybe have a live action Rick and Morty would be cool.
Who do you think will play in there?
I imagine what they'd do is like they'd have the original like cartoon versions just put into the real world. And like have them interacting with their creators and shit.
Yeah.
Because the show is like that in a lot of ways. Like, if you've ever had an
Like Breaking the
existential
Fourth Wall?
crisis, that's the wrong show to watch. Like, there's one episode where they bury their own dead bodies.
What show is this?
Rick and Morty.
Oh.
It was such like a dark episode too. Like, they screw up the entire Earth to the point where they can't fix it. So rather than do anything about it, they just ditch that and go to a different timeline where they did fix it and they died. And they just bury their own bodies and take their place.
Dang.
So yeah, like having an episode where like they meet the people who wrote them and created them would be interesting.
All right, what anime do you think that could work?
It would definitely have to be like a zany kind of anime that would fit. And to be honest, one that I think would be kind of fun to do like the whole cartoon comes into the real world would be One Punch Man. I feel like
Yeah,
that would be in line with the tone of it. Like One Punch Man comes to the real world and acts like an actual superhero.
And and have like Saitama get into have like Saitama like fight with like DC heroes or Marvel heroes and stuff.
Yeah, you could totally do that. Like, just jump into different comics and fight them. Like, freaking One Punch Man versus Doomsday, or One Punch Man versus Majin Buu, or something like that.
Yeah. That'd be cool if like it would be a fan made comic to do that. or if the creator is actually watching this and, you know, just give us a little shout out there, you know.
Or make a One Punch Man versus One Punch Man. Like
Aside
somehow
versus
he jumps into a different like One Punch Man comic and fights another version of himself.
oh, like the like have them like more refined version fight the original one that was like, you know, wasn't as good as the published one.
Yeah, like the original sketches.
That would be pretty interesting.
And he like fights that creator's other doodles too.
Yeah.
This is a good idea. This is the best idea.
We need to tweet out the creator. We need to find his Twitter account.
Just tweet him out. Look, you need to make a movie where he jumps out of his comic and fights DC and Marvel guys, then he fights the older version of himself. Because all things considered, that's not like far from something they'd actually do. I mean, it does have like a good sense of humor about itself, so.
so many good jokes just waiting to happen.
Yeah.
If I were to choose an anime, I would actually choose to integrate to the real world. Man, that's hard. Because you have to find the logical sense to the anime from an anime to see if they'll do something like that. Integrate to the real world. That is very difficult. You just chose the best answer.
I'm sorry, listeners. I accidentally hit the play an ad button. My bad, so. The two of you. I didn't mean to play an ad. But no, like, you're right. That is totally a good idea.
Man. Because I don't know any animes that will break the fourth wall like that. Or just have something that will do something as outrageous and crazy as One Punch Man.
The only other comic I could think of doing that would be like Deadpool, but they've already done a Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
Ooh, Deadpool versus One Punch Man.
Who do you think would win in that?
It's hard to say because I feel like One Punch Man would always win the fight, but Deadpool would just keep coming back with like rocket launchers or tanks or something. So it would basically be like he's Wile E. Coyote and One Punch Man is the Roadrunner or Saitama.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, that would just be like a 15-minute sketch, not enough to fill an entire movie. Don't use that One Punch Man creator.
Yeah, like that would be like the it would just be dragging it out at this point, like after a certain amount of time.
Yeah. I mean, unless he does like really big fourth wall breaks and just like makes himself a giant and hits him with like subtitles and stuff.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping they do that in the Deadpool movie. Like at some point where someone's talking in a foreign language, he just grabs the random text and hits him with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely like One Punch Man, Class of 3000, all that stuff. Shit, I think we covered all our topics.
Yeah, and then some.
Yeah. I don't know, do you think we should end it here? We're hitting about the 2-hour mark.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it.
Alright, Alright, since I did the intro, I believe that you, my friend, shall do the outro.
Alright. To all the viewers out there, thank you for tuning in to the podcast. the most awkward podcast ever because of my freaking speech is really getting worse. Um, Leave a like, comment. What anime or manga are you reading slash watching? Um, we'll see you next week. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And have a nice night.
Good chat. Okay, and they're still listening. This is awkward now. End the broadcast.